Take two. This is Jenny Walker with Logan and then Pivot. I videotaped this because this is the day after Karen fitted both horses, um, refitted their saddles. They both had big changes. So, this is take five for Logan, I guess. I think we did a better job. I think he's more consistent in his walk and his trot, and it's all because we were both in better balance. Because the saddle was in better balance. So here we are at the walk, and I spend quite a bit of time at the walk. I really wasn't, Logan's had drops to this, and there he stretches. Um, And on occasion, he does, kind of tuck his nose behind the vertical. Not badly, but it is. And so there's a nice stretch. So I've got to keep working on that. Um, I didn't ride with the whip today. So, because sometimes he's very shy of the whip. And so all he wants to do is rush. So I just didn't ride with it. And I can see where I need to be able to tap him a little bit so I don't have to use my leg as much, to get a little bit more forward. And there's another nice stretch, and I want to film that so I can see. There we go. Very good. If he'll become longer and more consistent earlier in the walk. And there he is. He's stretching. So, we get there. But I have to remember that he does have some mild arthritis, I know, in the left stifle and or hock. But anyway, so we just work on that. So we need a good warm-up, and we need to have the stretch so that we increase the strength across his back so that his muscles take more of the work over just the joints. So, and I noticed when he was standing there the other day with Karen when he was tied up that his back was looking much better as far as flatter and not so dipped. So that was a good thing for me to see also. There's a pretty nice halt. He will move. Oh boy. He just, has that piece where he just doesn't seem to stay balanced there. So we'll work on that also. So, and I do some quarter turns, not always down the center. And I'll make him walk straight and there's a nice straight stretch. And because he'll tend to throw his shoulder over right away if I ask him to do the leg yield right away. So good stretch. Not as good as some, but change direction. I'm working on keeping my legs back. And still. But I was really pleased with him this day. As far as he was very steady and very regular. Okay, and then we're going to move off. We stop again, and then we're going to move off. Okay. I think I decided Yeah, I thought I was going to maybe do a loop, but then I decided no, I'll just do a little leg yield. That was a really funny movement. Um, I probably didn't like when I came around the corner that he was kind of maybe that left shoulder was falling to the wall. And so I said, okay, we're going to walk over this way, kind of in the loop. And then I asked him to leg yield back over. So it became a little interesting movement there. Now here is basically a quarter line type thing. We're walking straight, and then I will ask him to move over. And stretch. So when I look at this walk, it's not as maybe as powerful as I might like it, but we do feel like we're going somewhere, and we are walking freely and in a regular rhythm. And over we go for the leg yield. It does have a tendency that when I ask for a little bend in places, whether it's for the leg yield or the shoulder in or shoulder four, and or just turning down the center line or quarter line, and I'm going to ask him to trot here, and that's why we're kind of throwing the head up a bit, and I'm trying to ask him to kind of pick it up and move forward. So here we are in the trot. You'll find that it's nice rhythmic trot, but it's, to me, when I look at it here, feels good when I'm on him as far as the fact that he's not rushing. That's what he likes to do. You give him too much leg or sometimes a little tap with the whip because you just want a little more, and then all he does is increase it with speed. He just picks up the speed, not the power. So anyway, here we are, and I liked his trot today. Felt very secure in the saddle. I felt we were together. So again, we don't get a lot of stretching right off the bat. In the trot, there's a little bit of leg yield, and what I'd like is for him to stretch now. So I'm asking, but whether he does it or not is something else. I guess I should take a circle. Am I? Okay, now I'm changing direction. I should have taken a circle and worked to get the stretch after that leg yield. But a lot of times we get it on the diagonal, but I really didn't get it there either. But I like the fact that he's just staying very regular. His head is not up, down, up, down, up, down. I mean, a little bit right there, just as I said it. But, he's trotting along. Little behind the vertical there. So, and he started to throw his shoulder over, so I stopped asking for the leg yield and continued to go straight. And then I asked for the leg yield because he likes to, especially going to the left. He loves to just throw that right shoulder over on you. So I'm going to keep him straight, trying, and then I will ask him over. And I asked for the canter. And I'm up in 2 points. I probably could get up higher, maybe. That's maybe what I should try to do. But anyway, I'm not sitting on his back. And that's so I can get his back up and stronger at the canter. So I'm not sitting down and into the saddle. Although when I was riding to try the saddle out after Karen had set it all up, I did sit in it, and it was very nice. And we didn't have the issues that we were having before. So, but he doesn't tell me as much as Pivot does that the saddle needs to be, taken care of. I'm just going to have to listen better. And he wanted to break, but I didn't want him to break. So I had to get after him. And we're doing a loop at the counter. And this is in prep for some counter canter. And so stay off his back, take a circle, and stay off his back to let the back get stronger. And then bring him down to a trot and try to get him to stretch. Oh, there we go. There we go. And to have the trot back to pretty much where it was before. Now I'm seeing my inside rein is, not as still as I would like it to be, at least this right rein when I came across there and changed. There we go. Nice stretch. Push him on a little bit is where I should be. Push him on. Push him out there. But anyway, so I've got to work on that a little bit more. A lot more. I mean, we always have stuff we have to work on. What can we say? Riding and training a horse is a journey, not just a day's adventure. Good boy, Logan. That was nice. And he just may need, quite a bit of warm-up to kind of really get into his sweet spot there of being able to find that stretch. So that's nice there. And there was the right canter without a whole lot of throwing the head up. Getting better as the back gets stronger. So that he can pick himself up. And here again, we're going to do a loop. And he did it. He came off my leg. I don't want him to break, though, and I think he does. I think he kind of loses it right in here somewhere. Oh, yeah. He thought he was done. He goes, I'm not going to do that again. So I didn't quite catch him, so we're going to go back, and we just finished the loop at the trot. Ask for the canter again. And we'll come all the way around to the other side. And we'll try it again. And he's bending his head, tilting his nose. But other than that, that came off okay. So he did a good job there at the canter. So, bring him back slowly. I'm circling inward, spiraling inward. He had to take a little bit more weight. And now we're going out and we are going to stretch. Yep, down we go. Good stretching. Good stretching without running off. Oh, he sees the FedEx truck, so he raised his head. The arena's down by the street, so we get little disruptions. And he thought, oh, she wants me to canter again. And no, I didn't. But he likes to think that he knows what we're doing. And again, out on the stretch. Good boy. Maybe if I could keep that rein a bit more still. There you go. And I guess that would be me having to keep my shoulders and body and hands more still. But that's nice. Nice, 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 nice. Good. Good, Logan. Go, buddy. Look at that trot and that stretch. See, he just needs, I guess, more time to warm up into that when he's got a rider on his back. It takes him a little bit on the lunge, but it just takes him a little bit more when I'm on his back. So just have to work on that and figure out what it is that it takes to get him to that point sooner. So, okay, now here's Pivot. He's the pony. And I always have to come back to the fact that he's small, so he can walk out if he wants, but it's not going to be like the 16-2 and the 17 hand horses that I've had with this big old long stride. And Logan would rush, and this guy, actually, when I first got him, when he was trying all this, he would rush. It was a really nice forward walk, but it was a what are we doing? I'm not so sure. I'm afraid. I am not relaxed. And of course, he didn't stretch down like this in this nice relaxed position either. But so anyway, so we are, to me, a little slow here. Don't have a lot of energy in the hind end. The walk doesn't have its natural forward pieces to it. And so I just try to get him down and low and forward moving. And it'll all come eventually. But he doesn't always want to move, even doing this. And you'll see when I go to ride him, it's kind of the same way. But we're working on it. It's kind of like he went from, when I first got him, I want to do everything. Well, you see, he just gets where he doesn't want to be. So anyway, when I first got him, I think for him, it was all fear of the unknown, because all he'd been done with is kind of run around the back trails in Campo, and that was about it. No real schooling, and that was for the max of maybe 8 weeks. So, he didn't know how to turn with the reins. He had no idea what standing up was. The girl asked me, well, you can canter him, or she said, made the statement, and it was like, that's fine. The trot's good enough, especially when I felt like I was leaning around a corner on a motorcycle. So here we are. I'm up on board, and we're walking down the long side here and trying to get him to stretch, which he does pretty easily now. And then I asked him to halt, and I had long reins, which is fine, and you could see he didn't kind of know what to do and kind of raised his head, but that's okay. And then he walked on, which is fine. That's why I petted him, because sometimes he doesn't want to move. So, and you'll see that in the trot. So we'll do some walk, making some turns, because we've got to work on the fact that making our turns with a much more subtle aid. Of course, it's been using a bigger open aid and having to use more pressure on the rein to get him to come on around. He still likes to, especially to the right, very nice pivot. That's a nice stretch. Likes to throw his shoulders in both ways. To the left, he always drifted in. And to the right, like I said, he was more like leaning around a curve on a motorcycle. So he still wants to throw that right shoulder in that way, but not anywhere near as much. And so here we are just walking. I would like a little bit more in that walk, but I guess as we get stronger, we will get it. Keep asking him to stretch. Little touches on his mouth. And now this is a bit of a leg yield. I opened that right rein and I'm just playing with the left rein a little bit. And I have gotten him to, move over. He didn't need to go all the way to the fence, just to step over so that he learns that we can step off of that leg and move his little booty, actually his whole body. But so we're going to go around the other direction. And we'll try it over there. Sometimes this is agonizingly slow. Even when I'm on him. But I don't want to get wiggling too much because sometimes, see, there we go. I opened the left. I raised the right, to get him to move up and over off my leg. It's not great, but those are starting points. Considering he didn't have a clue what any of that was to start with. So nice halt. Didn't just throw his head up because that's sometimes what he likes to do. He'll just come into the halt real abruptly and up goes the head, hollows the back, the whole bit. So we just kind of are quietly working, and I try to feel on the reins the bit to try to keep him with me and not just let him hollow out into the halt. And then we got a nice stretch here. I would like him to go down further. There we go. Now, when he walks, when I've watched him walk, he is tracking up. So he's got a nice walk in that respect. But boy, it just doesn't feel like it has any power at all. So get him to stretch. He went down a little bit, so I give him a pet. And we change direction. Good, there we go. Okay, I asked him to trot. Now you'll see, we'll get a few steps and he stops. So I kind of regroup. And then I ask him again, and we'll go a few steps, and we'll regroup. Because he stops again. It's like a cold engine. And I've got to stop doing that right there. I've just got to let the rein alone and just tell him I still want him to trot. Because that's probably not helping it either, So just, he's like a cold engine. It takes him a little bit to get going. And now we're going a little better. And of course, I am asking him to come back down. And, you know, I don't know if I should just forget that for now and just get him to trot. And I do get to that point where good. And he's starting to go down. He can do this. He can go down. There we go. And he can trot around on the longer ring. And there we go. Good. Just takes him some time. So I don't, again, you know, cold engine. And he's got quite a nice looking trot. He covers the ground. But it's like sometimes he just wants to stop. Come on. Come on. Heads up. Good. So anyway. So I have to keep using the whip. Ugh. You know. So we stop. Walk a little bit. Again. To let him and me regroup. Trying to get a stretch. I am trying to get a stretch. And I'm trying to get a trot, looks like. Because I keep patting him, tapping him hard with that whip. So I don't know. Maybe I was just trying to get him to walk on so he would stretch. Maybe I should just put my hands up in front of me and forget about any kind of turning, you know, and see what he does. I don't know. That was a pretty good strike off with a trot. He seems to kind of, here we go. And he wants to hesitate, and stop, but I got him to move on. He seems to really only do that, like cold engine starting one direction, the first direction we go. I don't think it's particularly to the right or to the left. It's like the first trot that we do. So, and this is good. We're stretching. I'm trying to have the reins nice and long and not be tugging on his mouth at all. Whoopsie. When he does that, that means he wants to stop. Throws his head up, hollows his back. And so I really try to get after him to try to keep him going. Good stretch. But we come up. There we go. And he'll get sometimes he'll have some pretty good, I'm asking him to canter. And this is new, to get him to canter. And I'm thinking, I think what I'm going to do is ask him in a 2-point and get him to canter in 2-point. This is brand new. I mean, we've been getting some canter on the lunge line lately in the round pen, but I still have to chase him a lot to get it, and really get after him. So to be able to do that on my own in the arena is pretty nice. We've been going outside the arena. I have a little area, and we trot and try to do a canter out there to, like, yippee, we're out. We're not in an arena. So I need to maybe get him somewhere with a much bigger arena so he doesn't feel, confined. And I've had him on a trail ride, and actually he did pretty good at the walk. So we'll see. So we got to change it up, do different stuff. I should put some trot poles back out for him. And we're going to try to canter again. There we go. Good. Go on, bud. And I'm going to try a circle up here. And it's not the easiest thing to try to get because we still don't bend very well. So, yeah. But we did it. We did it. We did it. Yes, we did. And all we wanted to do was, of course, fall in on that shoulder.